Hello, everyone. In preparation for the final drafts of your SOAPSTone essays, we will review MLA format. This lecture will help you with citing primary sources both in text and on a works cited page. Let's begin by talking about types of sources. There are three types of sources you can use in your essays: primary sources, secondary sources, and tertiary sources. Take a moment to review each one. For this essay, you are only allowed to use one source, that is, your primary source, which is the speech or text that you analyzed. Every time you quote or paraphrase it, you must cite it. Every time. Not all sources require citations. These include proverbs, sayings, and cliches, such as a friend in need is a friend indeed, give credit where credit is due, well-known quotations such as to be or not to be, that is the question, common knowledge that's not debatable, like the sky is blue, or that Shakespeare wrote Hamlet. Also, your own field research does not require citations. Moving on to part 2, let's review MLA format basics and in-text citations. Your paper must be 12-point font, Times New Roman, double-spaced, 1-inch margins, proper heading, page numbers, and the proper header. You must also include a works cited page. When you quote, the basic formula is to put the quote in quotation marks and then use an in-text citation that includes the author's last name and page number, followed by a closed parentheses, and then the punctuation. The punctuation always goes at the end of the closing parentheses. Let's talk about the works cited citations. This is the second step in the MLA formatting process. Citations are twofold. Anything you cite within the essay must also be cited at the end of the essay on a works cited page. A works cited page is a formatted list of all the sources you cited within your paper. Anytime you quote, paraphrase, summarize, or include information that you've read from an outside source, you must include that source in your references list, correctly formatted in MLA style. Here's an example of what your works cited page should look like. What goes in a listed source depends on the source. However, there are 9 core elements to universally apply to any source material you want to cite. Notice that each of the components is in a specific order and has specific punctuation. Make sure each of these components is listed in this order with this punctuation. Let's unpack these 9 components. The first is the author, who wrote it. The second is the title of the source. Then the title of the container. Containers are the elements that hold the source. So the title of the container may represent the website or the online database where your source was published. It is not Google, that's the search engine. Okay, so for example, if a television episode is watched on Netflix, then Netflix is the container. Okay, if a source is found in a magazine, that magazine is its container. So we have the title of the magazine article, and then the container would be the title of the magazine. After you have given the name of the container, then you want to include other contributors, and this could be translators, editors, etc. If you're using a textbook, a lot of times you're going to have several authors and several editors, and this is the place where those editors would go. Next, the version or volume number. A lot of times you see this with journals. The publisher. You can always find the publisher in the book right in the opening cover. If you need to find the publisher of a website, you should be able to find it all the way at the bottom. The publication date is the source that the work was originally published or copyrighted. Make sure that your online sources include a publication date. If not, then you may want to consider choosing a different source. And finally, for online sources, you want to include the URL. If the source was found in an electronic database, that information is included as part of the location. You also need to include page numbers for print sources here. And obviously, if there are no page numbers, then this is something you can omit. It's quite possible that some of your sources won't have all 9 components. In that case, just use what you have. To help you with these components, I have compiled a list of works cited entry formulas for your primary sources. Pause the video and review each one. Finally, here's a cheat sheet for you. Pause here and take a screenshot for your notes. All right, you now have everything you need to successfully complete this essay. As always, reach out if you have any questions. Bye.